Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Zagger-tastic stream. It is I, your friend, the one, the only, Z-A, single God, Zaggard, and I hope you're all having a wonderful morning, noon, night, evening, whatever time it is for you today. Welcome back to the Dragon's Den, my friends. How are you all doing? Hello, Asteria, Star Goddess, and Marinus the Grey. It has been so long to see you since I've seen you guys, and it has been a whole week since I've even been on stream, guys. Last week we finished the one, the only Deathloop, and it was a lot of fun. It was a great game. It had a great story, great voice acting. The gameplay was fun. It was I got really tripped up a couple of times there trying to find little clues and things, and you guys really helped me out. So it felt like an experience that we played this together, right? Like you're my little brother, or I'm your little brother, and we're both trying to figure this game out, and it was so much fun. So we're going to be starting a new game this week, today, Far Cry 6. I've been wanting to play Far Cry 6. My friends have been telling me it's a good game. But before we get into it, we have to get into the tier list that I have been promising you guys for over a month. The Disney proper tier list. And this one specifically will be the Disney Renaissance films. Yes, I know, Disney has more than just these films. They have like 50 films. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about 50 films for like 6 hours, okay? My throat will die, my brain will die. I haven't even seen all the Disney films because some of them aren't even really films. And honestly, do you even care about like the Three Amigos or Leos Dos Padres or whatever it is? I don't think you do. I really don't. I don't think you care about my opinions about Fantasia either. Maybe you do. That one, actually, some people really like Fantasia. But I do like Fantasia, but it's not really, you know, a kind of movie that you can talk about the story, the character. Like you can, but it's a little bit more abstract. Did you see some? Hey guys, I do. Yes, I do. Ooh, okay. You do. You care about every single Disney film, in my opinion. I don't really care about most. Not most. There's some that maybe I'll talk about in the future, but these are the only ones I'm going to promise to you for now. Maybe I'll do some more later. Little Mermaid is cool, and I'm sick of this thought of, oh, she sold her voice for a dude. Ah, shut it. You're suggesting self-sacrifice is wrong. She saved the dude 3 times in the movie. Like, she is a big deal. Marinus, we'll get there. Okay, but she only did that because her father said no and destroyed the statue, and she was curious about... We'll get there, guys. Guys, we'll get there. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. All right? We'll get there. And we'll actually get there pretty quickly, because I'm going to do, like I said... Oh, whoops. My Disney Renaissance tier list. Oh, that's not the right one. There we go. I'm dumb. And first, we'll swap to Halloween clean. Halloween clean. There we go. Otherwise, it's going to cover up all this with the trees and stuff. So we'll just do it here. And the first one, actually, you guys are right. So I'm just going to go in order of release date because I think it makes the most sense and it's a little bit easier, and there's no reason for me to pull out a hat. What if we get all the good ones first and then all the bad ones? I'll just do an order of release date. And from the handy dandy thing called Google and my magic little box called the smartphone, the first one is indeed The Little Mermaid. Yes, that is the first one we will be talking about. And yes, you guys are right. Ursula is the best villain. I wouldn't say she's the best villain, but she's a very interesting and cool villain. I wish we could learn more about her. All the other villains in the story, we kind of get everything about them by the end of the film. Hers is the only one that has one big question of, she was banished from the kingdom. Why? The movie never says why she was banished. She just is banished. I guess it's because she's a bad person, but what do you need to do in King Triton's kingdom to get banished?
Someone has...
All right. Thank you for following Ethan Leo Liot. Ethan L. Lito. I can't read. Okay, look. I can't read. All right, that's why I watch movies and play video games, because I can't read. She's using magic for evil purposes. Yeah, but which one? What got her bit? Like, is it just that she used magic? They never say. I mean, they imply that she did some bad stuff, but what was the ultimate thing that got her banished? She's the only one we meet who got banished, right? You know. Ursula's smart here because she waited for the right moment to trick her. She knew the grotto was destroyed due to her eels, so she used that to advantage. Yeah, well, she's a great villain. I'm not gonna say she's the worst villain. I'm just not sure if I'd say she's the best villain, but she is definitely a great villain. But let's get into the movie. So here's the big thing the big controversy. Little Mermaid is terrible because she's just like, I'm in love with the boy, daddy, so I'm gonna sacrifice my soul, and that's not it, guys. It's not just that. Literally, the movie starts with her being obsessed with the human world, the surface world. That's what she's obsessed with, and she finds all these different collectibles. She's been collecting them for years before she met Prince Eric. It just happened to be that she saw Prince Eric and she saved his life, and he was so beautiful, so mysterious, so interesting to her that it was what she wanted most, was just to be around him, learn who he is, be close to him. And her dad was just like, no. And that's how, if any parent ever just tells you no for no reason, they won't let you do something, you're going to want to do it. That's pretty normal, especially for a 16-year-old girl, right? So she's not the worst character ever. People just they forget her whole motivation. They think it's just about a guy. Yes, a lot of the movie is centered about their love, but that's less because of what Ariel wanted and more because of how Ursula made the deal. Think about it. Ursula was the one who kept pushing her to be with the guy. She literally made the deal that you have to kiss him by the end of the 3rd day, right? Ariel wasn't the one who was like, can I do it so I can marry him? No, she was like, I want to be a human. And Ursula's like, okay, but you have to kiss the boy. Like, that was all Ursula. Ursula, if anybody's the horny one, it's Ursula. Let's get this straight. She's literally talking about like body language and stuff like that in her song. Ariel's not the one doing that. I know Ariel's the most revealing, but let's be honest, all the mer people wear like one piece of clothing and that's it. She would have gone up anyway, prince or not. Yeah, that's the main thing. That's what the author of the original story, but Disney changed. Disney didn't change it that much. They just made it less dark, which is fine. They were trying to make it more of a family movie. You wouldn't be able to show like the pain of her tail splitting in half and how every step was agonizing. That would scare little kids. Like, they wanted 5-year-olds and 10-year-olds to be able to watch this film. All right. 'Tis I, the legendary dumbest of dumb puffs. Welcome to Unpuffed. Here in the nick of time. Again, I don't think Little Mermaid is the best film ever made. But it's a really solid film. There's a reason why this is the first film in the Disney Renaissance. Because before this, for like 10, 15, 20 years, Disney had been neglecting their animators. Right? They started doing cell shading because it was cheaper. They moved all the animators from their big lot to like way in the back in one building. And this is the first film where they're like, okay, we're going to hand draw everything again. And people were like, oh my God, it's a beautiful film. Disney can make good films again. And that's why this is the first film in the Disney Renaissance, because it's the first one where they tried. They actually put their heart and soul into the film. And it shows. They are great characters. Yes, they have the cringy lines of, but daddy, I love him. Yes, I agree. But I still think it's a really solid film. It has some of the best music in Disney by far. The only bad one is the Crab song. It's just a wonderful film. It has this mystique to it. Yeah, but they made Nightmare Before Christmas and Lion King, so they have no excuse. There's a difference between the two. There's a difference, okay? Nightmare Before Christmas was made by Tim Burton, and that was after the Disney Renaissance. That was when they started trying to be more dark. Lion King was near the end of the Disney Renaissance, and that was when they were starting to be more dark. This is earlier Disney, remember? Sure, they made Dark Cauldron, but Dark Cauldron isn't good. Just because you go with all the dark stuff in a story doesn't make it good. But I think this is an A-tier film. And for the story they were trying to tell, I think it does a good job. It does a really good job. Sure, it doesn't follow the original tale, but that's not what you're here for. You're not here for the original tales. If you wanted the original tales, you'd read a damn book. You're here for a nice time at the movies. And this is a great time at the movies. Almost every single song in this film is fantastic. There's only one that I would take out. One. The rest are great. I like this movie because I have great memories watching it with my mom and long road vacation trips. She'd sing Under the Sea with me every time. Oh, that's wonderful. That is a cute story. I like that. All right, now we're on to the first sequel film, and only one in the Disney Renaissance, The Rescuers Down Under. Now, for those of you who didn't know, I recently watched The Rescuers, and I thought The Rescuers was a really cute film. And we get The Rescuers Down Under, and it's a sequel film, and it's still cute. There are things I really like in it, things I don't like in it. The villain was great in this. I loved the villain. There's this part where this, so what it's about is they're in Australia, and there's this poacher. This kid saves this giant eagle, and a poacher realizes he saved her, and he already killed the father of the eggs because he could sell it for money, and he wants to kill the girl, and the kid won't tell him, so he kidnaps the kid. And one of my favorite scenes is when he's kidnapping the kid. He's like driving him back, and he's like, "If you kidnap me, the Rangers will find out." And the villain goes, "Oh no, not the Rangers! Don't call the Rangers! What could the Rangers? Not anything but the Rangers!" And he's just like hamming it up and faking. He's like, "Kid, the Rangers haven't found me yet. They're not gonna find me anytime soon." It's great. I love it. How come Dum Dum Puff has legendaries unlocked, but I don't? Cause she's been gambling. That's why. If you wanna gamble your points, you can get one. A tier, I had fun time with it. I'm so curious. I don't like The Rescuers. Neither movies can keep my attention. I thought The Rescuers Down Under was a cute movie. It was fun. I like the characters. The mice don't play as much of a role as the humans do in this one. They were more important in the previous one, and they focused a bit too heavy on the comedy in parts. Like there's this part with the seagull that flies in there, and they have like these two like 10-minute long scenes where he's in the hospital and he's trying to get better, and then he sits on the eagle's egg. So I didn't like it. It just felt like a waste of time. So it kind of goes in the C tier. Like it's a decent movie, but it's nothing amazing. I think it's cute, and it's a cute little film. That's about it. I gotta fix this. My OCD. There we go. All right. So now we've done those. The next film on the list, I keep gambling like 7,000 at a time. By choice, action, avatar, color, gear, names, tags. They're interesting. The next one, oh, the third one. This one is a personal favorite of mine. I love every song in it. It's animation marvel. All right, there are scenes in this that look like they're CG, but they're all hand-drawn animated. And it's wonderful. It's Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast is probably my favorite Disney Renaissance film of all time. I freaking love it. It is wonderful. It's in my top 5 Disney films, period. And what can I say about this? Every character is wonderful. Every scene is wonderful. Every song is wonderful. The animation is great. The voice acting is beautiful. I love this film. So we're putting it in the S tier. This is an S tier film, okay? What the heck? What happened there? Anybody that tells you otherwise is wrong. They're wrong. They're just wrong. They can't have a different opinion than mine. No, totally fine if you have a different opinion. I'm kidding. All right, so it just goes S tier. What else can I say? It's amazing. I love this film. They use some CG in the ballroom, but most of it is hand-drawn. Only the background is CG. The main characters are still hand-drawn, and it's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful. Like, they blended the CG with the hand-drawn animation flawlessly for 1991? Oh my god. Next one we get is the one, the only Aladdin. Now, this is the breakout role for the late, the great Robin Williams. Everybody knows how great Robin Williams is. I love Robin Williams. I love Aladdin. I love every character in this. This is another one that I would just put in S tier. I kind of just want to put in S tier. I'm probably going to put like everything in S tier, honestly, at this point. All the good ones, at least. The rest will only go in like B and C tier. Nothing here is going to go below C tier. I'm going to say that now. The worst, there might be one that I could consider putting in D tier if you like really push me, but they're all probably gonna lose. But this one, everybody agrees. Everybody agrees. S tier. It's just so good. What can I say? It's Aladdin. And no, I'm not looking at you live. Action. Wait, hold up. Oh, you're saying yeah. The live action. Actually, that's the only live action one that I actually really like. The rest, I'm like, eh. But that one I actually enjoy for the most part. The Aladdin live action. The rest I either just don't like or I just kind of like tolerate them. I thought the live action. I agree, Dum. It's pretty good. It's not amazing, but. And next we get pretty much howdy dandy, you scurvy scandalous scales. Yes, honey, you mean Hercules. All right, next one we have The Lion King. All right, Lion King, another great film. Great music, great characters, great story. There's like one part in it that I don't think we need to be all super long. It's the can you feel that, you know, the scene with Nala and Simba. It's that scene I'm not a huge fan of. And I think it's a really good, great film. Personally, for me, Lion King is great. It is wonderful. It is amazing. The Lion King musical is one of the best musicals of all time. All right. The live musical. The movie, I love it. I really do. I don't think it's S tier for me. For me, it's A tier. It goes with Little Mermaid. They're both really great. There are just things in it that I'm not a huge fan of. That could be better. Let's shrink. There we go. There we go. Now you fit. Now you're cooking with fits. Wait, that's not how that line goes. For me, it goes in the A tier. That whole Nala Simba thing, it takes up such a huge section of the film that for me it drops it a little bit. And you know, there's some stuff that I don't know. The rest of it is just really solid. I can't complain about the rest of it, but that just drops it just a bit for me. Scar's my favorite Disney villain ever. Well, good for you. I like him a lot. He's a great villain. Mine is personally, I would say probably Dr. Facilier. I like Dr. Facilier a lot from, or Mother Gothel, those two. I like the more human-y villains. Although Dr. Facilier is still basically a sorcerer, but that's or warlock, but that's a whole other thing. All right, so now we've got 5 done. Next is Pocahontas. Okay, I haven't seen Pocahontas in a long time, but I remember it pretty well. Pocahontas is beautiful. Let's just start with that. It's beautiful. It's got some beautiful songs. Can you just around the river bend? You know, great songs. But here's my number one problem with Pocahontas. They based a film off of an actual historical event that we have records of, and they completely changed the historical event. I don't mind you changing a fairy tale. You can change a fairy tale however you want. It's a fairy tale, right? Sure, you could be like, oh, it ruins the moral, blah, blah, blah. But that's a whole other thing, right? But historical events should play out more or less like historical events. You shouldn't put some rosy tinted glasses to make it look all nice and happy. And the movie always bugged me. Even as a kid, I always felt like something was off. And as an adult, I realized why. And so it goes in C tier. It's still good. It's not bad. Oops, no, wrong thing. There we go. But it's just like the way they change some of these historical events kind of. And I'm not going to get into the political stuff about that. If you want to hear another channel about that, that's other people. But it still bugs me. It still bugs me. Best part of the movie are the animals. Maleficent, no, I curse a child for invitation amateurs villains. D tier, it's boring, and she was actually 12. Now the movie is sad once you know what actually happened. Well, in the movie, I don't think she's actually 12. That's one of the changes I don't mind. Aging up some characters makes it a little bit easier to digest. But I still, I don't think it's great. But I don't think it's horrible. There's still some stuff in it that I kind of like. Maybe if I watched it today, I'd have a completely different opinion but from my mind, I still enjoy it from time to time. All right, I could watch it. Next, we get to probably the darkest of the Disney Renaissance films, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Now, this one, oh my God, this one is a very under the radar film. I think it's the most underrated of all the Disney Renaissance films. I don't think it's amazing, but I think a lot of people pass it. It gets passed really easily. I think it's a really solid film. I think the way they do Esmeralda and Judge Frollo and I forget is his name Sir Daniel? I can't remember his name. they're all the characters are really great. This one is beautiful. It's got some amazing songs. Hellfire is probably one of the best Disney villain songs ever, just because of how good the musical composition is. But like Marinus the Grey said, these guys, these three, they really ruined the film. Because it would be one thing if you kept them ambiguous, if they were like, if he's just imagining them, if he's like talking to them because he doesn't really have any friends, he's imagining they're really there. But they give them this really stupid song that I hate. I really hate it. I don't even remember it. That's how much I hate it. I try to erase it from my memory. And they also have them physically hurting knights at one point, which means they are physically there. And the director said we tried to keep it as vague as possible. But if they're actually physically doing things in the world, that makes it pretty obvious they are really there. There's nothing vague about it. They're real. They're alive. These three kind of ruin the film for me. So it goes to B tier. There's some stuff in it that's still really good, but for me it's just there. Or not. It's not just there. It's really solid, but there's, it's not some of the best. It has some great songs in it, some really great songs, but most of the film is either solid or eh. I still like it. It's still good, but I put it in V tier. I kind of have a theory for why for the gargoyles. Interesting. But the pun with the horse though, Achilles' heel, best pun ever. Yeah, but having one good pun doesn't make your movie that good. All right. I still think it's super underrated. Quasimodo's such a great character, but I don't think it's as good as The Lion King or Little Mermaid, and not nearly as good as Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast is just perfect, and Aladdin is basically perfect. All right. Next one after this is boy, the one. He went from zero to hero, Hercules. Honey, you mean Huncules. I love Hercules. Hercules is so much fun from beginning to end to beginning. I don't know why I said it that way, but that's how I'm saying it, damn it. I love the art style for it. This movie I've watched hundreds of times, so much. All right, they have Danny DeVito in it, and he sings a song. I mean, he sings it, but still, it's great. The only problem with it is its depiction of mythology, but it's also not trying to be a Hercules story. It's a Hercules story. It's their made-up version. It's so good. Although for me, let me think. Do I put this in A tier or do I put this in S tier? I've seen this movie so many times and I've never been bored of it. I loved every second of it. So I'm gonna say for me, it goes in S tier. I think, surprise, surprise, most of these films are fucking amazing in my eyes. I'm a fucking Disney nerd or Diz nerd. So of course I'm gonna love this movie. And I know people are gonna be like, well, it's not methodologically accurate, and it's not that good, and blah, 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 blah. I didn't ask for your opinion. This is my opinion. This is my tier list. My tier list. All right, my tier list. I'm gonna put it where I want, just like I put the meat on the outside of the bread. The sandwich has 2 meat slabs with the bread in the middle, so I can. I don't actually do that. I've done it. Actually, pretty tasty sometimes, but it's also kind of messy. Anyways. After we get that one, we get the first, oh my God, this movie, Mulan. Beautiful, wonderful film. I've seen it so many times. Its story is great. The only thing that they only really change 2 things from the original ballad to this film. The first one that they change is that they make it the Huns, but that's not really it doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters sort of, but not really. Because it's just an evil army. Changing the name of them doesn't really change them too much, right? The other thing they change is they make it a little more comical, and they find out she's a woman halfway through the story instead of near the end. And, it works out. It shows that anybody can be a hero. It's beautiful. I think this is a great movie to show young girls that women can be just as great as men. And it doesn't beat the men down and say, like, oh, they're terrible or stupid, like a lot of modern films do today, which I kind of hate. I hate when films do that. You don't make a woman good by making a man bad. You just make them both average. If you make her as good as them or better while they're still good, it makes her fantastic. And that's why Mulan is so great. I would put this in S tier if there weren't like a couple things here and there I don't like. A little off, but most of it is great. I think this is great. It goes in A tier. I've seen this film so many times. What can I say? Mulan is great. B tier, the villain is, the threat is less. The villain doesn't need to be the main focus of this. The main focus of this is Mulan, and that's a good thing to do. She's a queen and a strategist. She could fight people with a fan. Who can beat that? Well, she's not a queen. She's not royalty in any way. She's a warrior. Let's get this right. She's a warrior. All right? She's not a queen. Being royalty and being a warrior are very different things, especially in Asia. They are the guardian angels for Quasimodo and help him through his loneliness. And I hope it was like a fairy godmother from Pinocchio. Made them come to life like Pinocchio did. Nah, I didn't like that. I don't like that theory. That theory is kind of... I would have liked it better if it was just like, are they real or is he just imagining them? Now we get to the final one. This is the last one. And honestly, Tarzan's good, but it's not that good. There are people who are like, oh my god, Tarzan's so good. Phil Collins made the best soundtrack ever. Phil Collins. I love Phil Collins. I wanna suck Phil Collins' dick. Okay, no. Get off it. Phil Collins is they're good songs. They're fun. They're good radio songs. But they don't enhance the story really. They're just songs to play during a transition. They don't push the story forward, all right? Hey, dude, man. Tarzan, I would not say A tier. I wouldn't even put it in B tier, honestly. And one of the reasons is most of the characters besides Tarzan and Jane and the main villain, kind of pointless. They're kind of, they're there. They're okay. I didn't like Rosie O'Donnell as this gorilla character. She was annoying, all right? The whole character is annoying. Jane is fun and finally an artist, like me. You'll be in my heart no matter what they say. I think it's C tier. I think it's just okay. It's just an okay film. It's not bad. It's just like the music is there just to be music. It doesn't actually progress the plot much, and that's the problem for me. If you're trying to make it a musical, the music should progress the plot and the characters, not just be a set piece in the background. If you're gonna just make it a set piece, don't pretend like it's super vital to the story, okay? So this is probably my quickest one yet, only 33 minutes. But Tarzan, Pocahontas, Rescuers Down Under, all decent films, but I don't love them. I can watch them every like 5 years and be like, yeah, okay. Then we get Hunchback of Notre Dame, probably the most underrated, overpassed, forgotten Disney film. What dum dum? That's all the Disney Renaissance films. I actually do see what Zagger means. Like, I kind of agree about the music bit. Where's the Great Mouse Detective? That's not part of the Disney Renaissance. It's not part of the Disney Renaissance. The Great Mouse Detective is not part of it. That's why I didn't put it here. It's not part of the Disney Renaissance. Yeah, it's not okay, but I expect to see it later. Well, if I do other Disney films, you'll see it. If I do other Disney films, you'll see it. I remember having fun with that one. That one's a fun one. But yeah, these three, they're good. They're decent. They're fine. I like them. I don't hate any. The only one I could say I might dislike is Pocahontas, just because it's based on a historical event, and they change. You can't change a historical event for your movie, okay, guys? It's dumb. The movie quite literally saved Disney's bacon. Did it now? I'm pretty sure the one that really saved them was Little Mermaid, because before then their animation studio they were gonna just like cut their whole animation studio and then they came out with the Little Mermaid, and that's what reinvigorated Disney, you know. But that's just from what I can tell. Maybe I've got some wrong history. I'll look it up over the next week if I have the time. Then we get B tier, the underrated, the great Hunchback of Notre Dame. Then in the A tier, the solid, nearly perfect films in my eye. Just little things here or there that I think could have made them better. We got Mulan. Oh my god, great film. Wonderful film. We got The Lion King. Oh, Lion King. And The Little Mermaid. Just beautiful. Oh, no, no, see, I'm gonna get copyrighted. I sang that so bad. That was my throat. Then we get Hercules. We get Aladdin. And the one, the only, the beautiful Beauty and the Beast. They are great. I mean, they did the same for Anastasia, but Anastasia was kind of fictional, like the movie. The Great Mouse Detectives say they're asked because it started the time where they began blending CGI with their hand drawn. I don't think that's what actually saved them. I'll have to look into this. Because I have to see which one came first and which one came... If it came before or after the Disney Renaissance. Because it came after the Disney Renaissance. Beauty and the Beast was the first one to do that. If it came before, then you're probably right. Anastasia is not Disney. It hurts me too. Anastasia was a great movie, but the real story is so depressing. Yes, it is. Anyways, guys, that's my tier list for the Disney Renaissance films. If you have any opinions, right, and you want to comment down below. Do it. Just comment down below. You know, tell me I'm a piece of shit. Tell me I'm the worst ever for not liking Lion King as your favorite movie. Tell me you hate me because I didn't think Phil Collins was the greatest music composer ever. Do it. I dare you. Fight me. Let's go. I won't throw hands because this is the internet and I can't do that. I can't physically put my hand through the computer to you. But you know what I can do? I can shake your hand. I like your disagreement, sir, madam, whoever you are. But anyways, I'll see you next time. And remember, don't believe in yourself. Believe in me, who believes in you. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, thanks for watching the tier list from my Monday stream. If you want to join in live, click the link to my Twitch channel in the description. If you liked the video, please click that like button. And if you want to see more, click that subscribe button. I'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful day.